Hello and welcome to Blender Age Builders. This is part 1, Downloads and Setup. Through this series, we're going to learn to use Blender 2.49b together as we build an age. I have just enough knowledge that I can direct our travels, but we're still going to be discovering stuff together. We will build our age, we will export it, we will put it into Drizzle, and then we will import it into UComplete Chronicle so that we can play it. We will cover only the bare necessities of this process. These are the files that we need. You can find Blender here at download.blender.org/release/blender2.49b/. I am working on Windows 7 64-bit, and I will be using 32-bit versions of all the different pieces of software, and I will assume that you are using Windows. If you're using a different operating system, then you will need to adapt for your operating system. So you will want Blender 2.49b windows.exe. That's what you want to download. The next thing you need is PyPRP. You can find that at www.guildofwriters.org/wiki/PyPRP:downloads. And there's a lot of information here on PyPRP, and I need you to read that. It's good information for you to understand. This is the link you want. To direct a link. This is some of that information I was talking about. This is the PyPRP installing page. The link is pretty much the same, except it's :installing in this case. And there's a little note here that I'm going to explain to you. We can only use Python 2.6.6 for Blender 2.49b because Blender 2.49b was compiled with a Python 2.6.x version. So this is the only thing that works. This is the newest version of Python 2.6.x that you can use with Blender 2.49b. And PyPRP, the newest version you can use, is 1.61. PyYAML, the newest version you can use, is 3.10 for Python 2.6.x. And Python Imaging Library, or PIL, 1.1.6, also for Python 2.6.x. Only these versions are known to work with PyPRP without providing an error. I've used some newer versions and had no problems with the age building process, but I had a C runtime R3605 or whatever they call it, the C runtime error. I had that pop up, and sticking with these versions, that error did not pop up. Optional components that you can grab are Psyco 1.6 and PyCrypto 2.0.1, which allows you to work with Mist 5. I have not tested which versions will work. I've only tested these here. These are the ones that were advised, so these are the ones that I would suggest you use if you want to install these optional components. And more information on that is here. And here's an introduction to PyPRP, so you should read all of these pages. This is the same link once again, only this is called an introduction. I'm going to close these out. We don't need them now. This is where you'll find Python 2.6.6. You can also type in download Python 2.6.6 and find this page. I did look at 267 and 268 and 269. There is no binaries installers for Windows. You want the Windows x86 or 32-bit MSI installer. For PyYAML, you want to go to pyyml.org/download/PyYAML. And the version that we'll want is 3.10 and Win32 Py 2.6 right here. This is the one you want to download. These are where you can find the optional components. It's a little difficult to locate them here, but you'll see that PyCrypto is here and psyco is there. If I click that, then we know that we want to have, let's see, probably, what did the version say, 2.01? Yeah. So you'd want to scroll down. I'm assuming here, this is the one that you'll want on this. And then psyco, the one you would want, will probably be this one right here. And this is at www.voidspace.org.uk/python/modules.shtml, and that should get you there. You can find PIL here, and there is another location, but it's not functioning at the moment. PIL, the one that you want is 1.1.6, so you want this one right here. And this is at effbot.org/downloads/. And we covered Blender, and that should cover all that you need there. This is the category, so you go to wiki/category:PyPRP. You find all the pages on this program, and you should try to read that. I'm going to take you partly through the install process, and then we will be ready to go into some building with the next video. Okay. Now, one little trick that I wanted to show you with Blender. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to where I have my download page, I believe it is. So I will not go through the whole install. I would uncheck these if you're using a dual install where you might have a 64-bit version of Blender 2.71 or 2.6 or 2.5, any of the 2.5 plus versions. If you're using a 64-bit version as well as this one, then you might want to let the 64-bit version be in control. And so you'd want to uncheck those. And then in the path, you can type in a 32. You can also make shortcuts once it's installed that correlate to this. I will not go over that in this video, but that's how I did it. And then when I had my 64-bit version, I typed in a 64 at the end. I will not go through the rest of this process. So that's how you would do it if you wanted to have a dual install of two different versions of Blender. That'd be one way of handling that. The dev tools are very simple to install. I have them here under development, and I've just put them in different areas. So you just click on them and run the installer. They're very, very simple. They should find everything. First though, before you run those, you should install, after you've installed Blender, you should install Python. So you want to go to wherever you put your Python and install your 2.6.6. Once this is installed, and only after this is installed, then you can go in and install your, it doesn't matter what order, but PIL and PYAML. In this case, we will want this one right here. And you will install those, and then you can install your psyco and PyCrypto if you want those. Now for PyYRP, what we're going to want to do here is I need to show you how to take care of this. It's not very difficult. So here's an install directory for my Blender. It's under Blender Foundation, and I have it under Blender 32. Yours will be under just regular Blender if you're only using one version, or you decided to just stick with Blender as your folder name. Be forewarned that if you did that and you had a new version installed, they'd be mixed together, and that probably wouldn't be very good for you. If you're going to have two versions, you should have some way of separating them. Anyway, it'll be under .blender, scripts, and you see I have a PyPRP folder here. It's very simple. I've extracted this version right here, and I've opened it up, and I've taken this folder, and I've just copied or moved it right over here. And that's all you do. And everything is then ready for you to start creating edges in Blender. Okay. When you start up Blender for the first time, excuse me, you'll have a console window. You won't have this layout yet. We'll work on that in the next video. And you should see very few, if any, errors right here. This should be what you get. If you have any issues, please be sure to comment on the video and let me know. If you exit this, you exit all of Blender. It has to have the console window open as far as I know. That concludes this video, and I will see you in the next one where we will start setting up Blender and getting to know this program. See you then.